Hey guys, this is Rick coming at you with Weed to No Basis, the podcast for all things cannabis business related. Are you an entrepreneur? Have something you wanted to create, something you wanted to bring to life in the cannabis industry? Maybe you've always wanted to partake in one of the biggest industries in modern day history. This is the podcast to listen to. All right guys, welcome back. So we're here at Hemp Central, Hemp Q, and again, you've been here before. This is our home. This is actually downstairs. We're in the what's called the map room, guys, but so glad you're here. One of the things that before I introduce our guest today, and I'm super stoked, is I've said this once, I've said this again, I'm a believer in repetition. My wife calls it OCD, but repetition is the mother of success. Is every day I wake up, and this is God's honest truth, I wake up and when my eyes open, of course, I'm looking straight up, and I think, holy shit, I'm alive. I got one more day. And I'm super excited about today because you're here, and you know that if you're here, it's because you're on a weed to know basis, but also because my homie Charles Rodkey Jr. is here. And I'm gonna use the word Charlie interchangeable because I've known him as Charlie, but Charles Rodkey Jr., welcome to Weed to No Basis.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching. I'm happy to be alive as well, so really excited to get this going.
I should call Topo Chico about sponsorship, but the truth is, it's hydration. So guys, Charles Rodkey Jr., I'm gonna read the bio here, guys, because this is super cool. Even cooler is that we're recording this in Texas, in a state where this is defying the odds. How is cannabis, CBD, the hemp industry on such a fast track here? So take this as we move forward with this episode. We're here in Texas, San Antonio, the heart of Texas, and this is where Charlie's business is. So Charles opened the first exclusive CBD retail store in San Antonio, Texas, the very first, and I will vouch for that, in the city several years ago. All products are manufactured in San Antonio. He's an original pioneer of the CBD movement in San Antonio, Texas, and I will add, guys, one of the pioneers anywhere. He's helped bring cannabis and hemp out of the shadows and introduce it to the public using a medical approach, a business model that many use today. So he's the founder and chief formulator. And before we go on, guys, I got to ask you, tell us what a chief formulator is.
In simple terms, it's just I'm the man who's responsible for all the formulations for our product line, which is Structure CBD, Rodkeys, which is our retail holdings. And then we also work with tons of other startups, companies that are looking to maybe white label or formulate their own lines. We work directly with the customer to identify their needs, maybe exactly what they're looking for in the end product, and come up with a formula that works for them and our customers. So it's really wide ranging, but it's I work with the raw materials, so whether it be a full spectrum oil, a distillate, a isolate, which is a pure form of CBD, we use those products, formulate from scratch. So it's taking all of your raw components, whether it be the carrier oil, maybe it's we're coming up with a lotion or a topical, a beverage. So it's finding the right components to go together, right? So that work in synergy together. So that's a big thing with the terpene blends that we use. So basically formulating products to the customer's needs and their wants.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna deconstruct that for y'all because oftentimes, and Charlie and I had a pre-conference here, and that's something we do before every episode, guys, is we kind of war game. And one of the things I love about him, and you can feel the passion just about the plant and everything. So if I deconstruct this, so you said a bit there, but one of the verticals you said is you mentioned the word startups. So now for you guys out there who are thinking, I've wanted to launch my own CBD brand, or I've wanted to launch my own formulation. What I heard you say is that if let's just say Nurse Rick, I want to launch my own CBD formula, let's say a tincture or a salve or a balm or a topical, and I want it to be specific for people with, gout and menthol. I can come to your company, and you will not only help formulate that blend specifically, but you can actually then produce it and create a product or an actual bottle that I can then take to market. Is that kind of what I just heard you say?
Yes, so we have a fully licensed lab here in San Antonio, Texas, so we're accountable. That's a really neat thing, and a lot of time in the industry.
Tell me what that means when you said you're accountable about the lab.
So we have a compound pharmacist on staff.
Okay.
Our products and manufacturing facilities fully insured. So we have product liability insurance, which is a big thing when you're making anything. So that's where I would say we're accountable. We're local, so you can come and talk to us and see where the products are made. We're going to show you the raw materials. We're going to show you all the third-party certificate of analysis for each raw material that goes into the product. We use good, the raw materials we use all are produced in an FDA-approved facility under our CGMP, good manufacturing processes. As well as some of the other components, all of the components, other than just the CBD, all have to meet certain requirements to be added to our products. So being accountable is
it's huge.
Is exactly what I said. Is we take a lot of pride in what we do, and our products are used by thousands of people every day. So lots of history there. I've been in the industry for almost 5 years now, in various forms. So it's very exciting to see the growth of the industry. And before, when I was maybe got into the industry and really no one maybe knew what it was, and that's kind of why I take the medical approach, is to break through some of those barriers that I saw in the beginning. And now, a lot of people come up and ask you maybe the really specific questions, and it's pretty awesome to see that, because people are the public is becoming an informed consumer. So that's a really neat thing to be able to see that now. When before it was just, it was almost nobody really knew about it, or if they did, there was a huge sales process behind it, which was fine. That's something I kind of put together with my first retail store. So yeah, it's great to see that happening. But yeah, fully accountable. We're here. You can come talk to us. We're not out in another state. Maybe just a legal state where you don't know what you're getting. You're just trying to get CBD, right? So we've been there and done that, and we're very, very, very stringent about our raw materials. So and we're happy to show all of our documentation for that. So.
I love that. I think that's, and I would surmise that you all out there would agree that, and if you're not quite sure, I'm just going to say this. This is the Wild West of the industry right now. We're in a time where there isn't a true regulatory body surrounding cannabis. Maybe in rec legal states, but right now the CBD industry, it's virtually non-regulated. Anybody can open up a store. And I'm not saying that we should not pursue opportunities and become entrepreneurs. I'm just saying that what you alluded to was, accountability. You have a compound pharmacist on staff. You are, my words, you're kind of a mad scientist on how you create stuff. And one of the things that really glowed was insurances. And I don't know if the general public realizes that that's kind of important, especially when you're creating something that people are going to put in their body or on their body. So having those things in place, that's we can put a big check in the W column. But something that I share with you, my wife is right off camera, and something that you guys don't know and you can't see, but so's Charlie's. And that's one of the things that I think is a beautiful thing, not only in this industry, but in general, that you guys work and play together. At least from my perspective, that's something it's an attractive quality. You do this as a family unit, right?
Yeah, I possibly would have missed this podcast today if it wasn't for her. So she keeps everything that I do in order. She's actually just great on marketing as well. Maggie has her marketing degree and really was a huge part in everything we've done as far as building our business, getting it out there. A lot of our best customers and relationships are because of my wife. So
it's a yin and yang.
I couldn't do it without her.
Yeah.
It's not always rosy, right? We're working together. We kind of butt heads a lot, but it's because we're both so passionate about what we do. I'm real passionate, obviously, on the cannabis side, and she kind of keeps me grounded there, because I start trying to chase 10 different ideas, and she kind of has to bring me back to reality.
So when she brings you back, is it like the kite holder reeling in the kite, or is it more like a?
It's like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know. So Lisa and I, we filmed an episode, and you guys can scroll back. It was like one of the probably the first 10 episodes about how we've worked together for over 20 years, and we use the analogy of the kite and the string. And it sounds like we're both kites. And while we use this gentle analogy of, when we get off track, our wives reel us in. That's not the truth. The truth is, it's usually a baseball bat or.
it's not. Yeah, it's definitely. I get brought back to earth very quickly.
Yeah.
So. Not in a bad way. It's good. It's good. I need it. So
we need to be grounded, but we need to have that space to create as well.
Yes. Yeah. So that's sometimes the creatives get caught out. And other things take over, right? We're just tunnel vision. So.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. So you have a creative side, and you are, let's just say, the kite of the Rodkeys and Structure organization, and your better half is she's the kind of the GSD, the get stuff done, keep things rolling forward, and she considered, and I'm just extrapolating this. You guys have complementing strengths, it sounds like.
Yeah, because I've always had a huge passion for the plant and the science behind it and all the components of it. And when I saw the opening in this industry with Senate Bill 339, I really wanted to find a way to get involved. And at the time when Senate Bill 339 was passed, which is the Compassionate Care and Use Act for Texas, it became very, very, very hard to get in the industry and to get a license if you were from the state. So that's when I discovered hemp CBD, and at the time was a real gray area that I could get it from Switzerland in the pure form. So that doing that and using, because I was in the medical industry as well. I sold medical supplies for over 20 years. So I combined my knowledge of passion of the plant and with a new approach to how we were marketing it out to our end user, which is usually my parents, maybe my aunt. It's not going to be, well, really everybody at the time has a use for it. A lot of millennials and Generation Xers are going to use the product, but the real needs behind it I saw in the beginning because I saw what it did for my mom's arthritis. I had to get it and scream it from the rooftops, right? But it's not so easy to do that when nobody knows what you're talking about.
And you were one of the first. That adds another element of huge challenge. Nobody knows what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, so I had to use kind of the medical knowledge that I had on the sales side. I'd also done genetic testing for medication sensitivity. So I spent a lot of time in doctors' offices and just tried to bring an approach to it with a little bit of bedside manner. Which is big time in the healthcare industry, which is basically listening and asking the right questions, and then knowing obviously what I'm talking about and trying as far as the plant goes, and trying to get that customer to the right spot where they walk out with the right product and they're not buying something that's not going to help them or is not enough to help them or is too much, maybe something that they don't need to get hit with the kitchen sink. So it was really finding that balance and the customer interaction and really gaining that every day, and really came out with a neat business model. So.
I would second that. So I want to let you all know some of the things that I heard. We're here, we're listening, and you guys may be watching this or hearing this on your earpieces, but some of the things that Charlie, consider this, especially as a startup entrepreneur or if you're considering. So one of the things you said is you paid attention to what was going on the legal side, Senate Bill 339 in the state of Texas. That's going on in your states right now. Whether you're in Jersey, whether you're in Oklahoma, whether you're in California, whatever state you're in, Hawaii, there are laws likely or bills likely being written, soon to be signed into law, and that's where it begins. And we've talked about that on prior episodes, guys, is paying attention to what's going on, boots on the ground in your municipality, your city, your state, your region, even your local DAs. And then you said that you noticed there was an opening in this industry. So you paid attention to what was going on. You saw that there was a gap. And then what you also mentioned, and take heed, guys, because you can absolutely channel your current passions or knowledge into this industry without veering too far away. In other words, Charlie was already in a space where he served the medical industry through DME, durable medical equipment. He was already connected to physicians, to practitioners. He understood the nuances of what that meant. And you honestly didn't veer too far. You took all of that knowledge and your knowledge and passion for the plant, and you melded that with a unique marketing approach. So What I'm saying here, guys, is while it may sound complicated, well, Senate bills and the law, and man, I saw the opening. What Charlie really did is just saw something, applied what he already knew, with added the passion for the plant in this industry, and here we are today. Take note, guys. That's what we do here. Is we show you what's going on between the scenes, between the lines, if you will, so that you don't have to go out there and search for answers. You just tune in right here. Yeah. So you're kind of a mad scientist. Those are my words, but when I see Formulator, I envision you like with a hairnet on and a white lab coat.
I do. We have to. So we have a lab and we have to abide by those standards. So yeah, we have all of the protective equipment on.
Goggles,
yes, you have. Yeah, because some of the products.
We need to get a picture of that for this job.
Yeah, I can do that. Maybe the next one, right? So. But yeah, we do, but we have a compound pharmacist as well that we take inputs from, that actually we get feedback from, and obviously works on his own products as well. But yeah, so it is a little bit of mad plant scientist, right? So botanical sciences. So.
Mad plant scientist.
Mm-hmm. The mad botanist.
Do you
we also have a botanist on staff as well.
Real? Seriously?
Yes.
I did not know that. I'm learning something new every day.
Yeah,
and we're practically neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a fast-moving industry and staff. We have a lot of things on the burner right now, and that requires a wide range of people that partners. So
yeah. Does everybody do it that way? I mean, the way you've shared, and I have some knowledge of your business, and I've known you and Maggie and your partners for a while. But because I've seen it myself, doesn't mean you have. Is everybody doing it the way you're doing it?
I'm not sure exactly. So they probably. I don't know that they have the exact same. I mean, everybody's gonna usually a legit company is gonna have obviously be licensed. We do a lot of self-regulation because, like you were saying earlier, there's not a regulatory agency at the moment that is looking over us other than the Texas Department of Health, which we are licensed by the Texas Department of Health, but they're releasing, as we speak, they're releasing regulations on governing these CBD companies. So we will be governed by the Texas Department of Health Services. I love that. I love that that's happening, because I know for a fact that everybody doesn't do it like us. I know what we do, what we're doing, we're going above and beyond to self-regulate. But yeah, I mean, I have to go up against companies all the time where maybe, I don't know where the product's made, right? Or I don't know if they have a food license, or if they have this license or that license. A lot of companies, I guess, you either buy maybe from a big grower, processor, maybe out in Colorado. A lot of companies will deal with those companies, and they have maybe 20 products that you can white label. So that's usually the standard. You can go to some of these. We're more of a craft, I guess I would call us a craft CBD company, because we get all of the best raw materials from those legal states, but then we basically we compound them here in San Antonio. So we offer a wide variety of products and formulation options that, maybe it wasn't a thing today, and tomorrow you have a new product on the market. So there's lots of options. I don't know too much about everybody else's business practices, but I do know, in any industry where you don't have that proper regulation, you're gonna have, like you said, some of the wild West stuff. And luckily you don't see a lot of people like getting sick from CBD products or things like that, but that it could happen, and I like knowing exactly everything that's in the product and being able to provide that to the end user. And yeah, you have more costs involved, right? We have a lot more overhead. We have insurance costs. We have company attorneys, all of those things that maybe another company doesn't have, right? And so competing against some of those companies can get kind of hard, but that's where, there's always going to be, we want to be that top echelon of quality, and it's like that with anything, any product you buy on the market, we want to be the best. It's like you can buy a $2 bottle of Barefoot or a $200 bottle of Opus One or whatever it is, whatever wine you like. I don't know. I like that one. That was the best one I had. I haven't had.
Guy.
No, I haven't.
Kidding.
I haven't drank for like 5 years, but you know, if I were to have some wine, I would definitely like, there's going to be a choice, right, on everything you buy.
Right.
You can get CBD at a gas station, right? So you could get a 500 milligram tincture at a gas station. Is the isolate that it was made with from China? I don't know. You know, I don't know these things. There's lots of different intricacies that can happen in the formulation of the product. We take a lot of pride in our proprietary terpene blends that we've been using since the beginning. A lot of companies don't have terpene blends that they add, or maybe they're not using them at all. It's a very important, I think, part of the product, and what makes the product work the way they do has a lot to do with the terpene profile. So that's I guess how I would answer that. I'm not too sure as far as everybody else's practices, but there is definitely, like in any industry, there's that risk. And
yeah, it's not to say we don't maybe keep an eye on competition, but it's just that we get focused on how we're serving our clients and customers best in our business.
Yeah, and I would always, like, if you're going to any company to work with, I would just always say ask for their certificate of analysis, the COA, maybe for the raw materials, the finished product you have. We provide QR codes on our labels, so it goes straight to the lab report. People know what they're getting. And we're even taking that.
So somebody can scan the actual bottle.
The label, yeah, and it'll go to the test results that are for that particular product. Now we're even taking it steps further to put in like tamper-proof security labels that are going to start going on everything, and we're working that out right now. But that's an extra step of I guess verification. So, but yeah, those are. That, like I say, any new company, you need to ask for those things. The test results, the third-party test results. Look at the date on it. I've seen companies that where we may be going against them, right? And I say, hey, let me see their third party. They give me the COA, and it's a year old, and they're using a test report from a product that's produced over a year ago, and they have nothing current. So. Testing is not, when you're a CBD company, you should be able to cover the expense of testing. You may spend, I think we'll spend $5,000 or $10,000 getting our products tested, and this is monthly. But that's just due diligence, as you're supposed to do. So,
yeah.
I guarantee you when Pfizer comes in, they're going to be testing their products, and they're going to have all of that stuff. So we want to take I'd like to take a lot of those practices from the pharma companies, right? Because they're running labs and running these. I want to take some of that stuff and apply it to our industry for the end user, for consumer protection, for all of that stuff. I mean, I'm not saying the pharma industry has the best record, when you look at overdoses and drug-on-drug interactions. But as far as producing the product, a lot of times we hold ourselves to USP standards. There's in the supplement industry, if you go buy vitamin C, it can be 20% plus or minus on the potency. So if you buy a 100 milligram vitamin C, it could have 120 milligrams in there or 80 milligrams in there, and it's acceptable. We work under USP standards, which is a 10% variance plus or minus, which USP standards is your pharmaceutical standard for formulation. So that's what your compound pharmacies work under, and it's what we work under.
So if I'm a startup, I'm Rick the nurse, and I want to create my own blend, I'm going to him. That's where I'm going. So point blank, guys. And stay tuned to the end because you're going to get the contact info. But I want to do a quick pivot here. I want to do a pivot and two things. One is, this is a question to Maggie, who's off camera, is I want you to think of something that we're going to share with the audience about Charlie. You can tell me in just a little bit, just something about Charlie that we don't know, that they're going to go, damn, I didn't know that about him, or damn, I didn't know that about him, or damn, I didn't know that about him. But the pivot I want to take while Maggie's over there noodling on the question, I mean, you guys, you might as well. This is...
I don't snore.
Yeah. is we've talked a lot about, let's call it, the lab, the mad scientist, the blend, the profiles, the construction, the deconstruction, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. If we think of this iceberg, what we've talked about is what you don't see. The things below the water, which is massive. And this is just one operation, but I want to talk now about the tip of the iceberg, what we see, and that's your retail stores. So you guys just opened I think it's your first, and you have your second coming online here soon. Tell us, what was the motivator? Because I've been to the stores, and I've seen a lot of stores, both, let's talk marijuana and then CBD shops, and your stores the aesthetics are like none other. So tell us a little bit about where that, describe it, like as if somebody is like, I want to know what the Rodkeys store looks like. If somebody was to walk in there, and the dream behind it, and how that emerged.
Yeah, so really it's just taking this retail to the next level. When I first started in the industry, in the retail industry, it was all a crazy idea. I didn't know if I was going to get shut down in the first month, what was going to happen. And it was kind of a thrown together thing, right? It was real successful, but it was, I put it together as fast as I could to get, not as fast, but I just took everything around me and tried to make it happen. Now with this new concept, I've really taken it to the next level. We had a little bit of design help getting it designed. I'm not a architect or designer, so that was really good to have that component now. We were able to display our products in a new, unique way that's maybe you're not used to, and at least locally, and have it displayed in these beautiful displays that are centric in the store. I created a whole new product line that kind of hit a lot more of the areas that I wanted to hit, to provide maybe where I saw voids in formulations that were out there. And then the education component, so which we're still building. So I'm still getting that store to where I want it to be. This has been such a crazy ride in the last year, getting that started and structure and doing the white labels and all of these awesome things that are happening. But we've combined a technology component in that store. So you can go in, we have the iPads right there. That really, and that's we still have an app in the works there, which is going to be more of a clinical approach, where we're going to have access to maybe healthcare professionals that are going to be able to do consultations. So those are still things that are in the works, but as far as the way the store is built out, I think it's a beautiful presentation. Kind of, if you go into a Vegas dispensary or something like that, it's going to kind of remind you maybe a little bit of that, minus the THC products. But it's just it's more of a new concept. You don't have people just directly behind the counters on the side. You can kind of go in, do your shopping, look around. If you want a consultation, you can go to the back. If you just want to learn more about the product, you can go to our iPad, which is being populated day by day. And yeah, I mean, it's really, it is a different approach and a different concept. So that's where I would say is, I guess, the visual component, right? The visual aspect. As far as we're taking that education to the next level. Like I said, we're still working on a few concepts there. So almost like telemedicine. So that's going to be integrated soon, and I think it'll definitely be something new when you see it. But it's like we're building it from scratch. So I don't know if it's going to work like, this way or that way is going to be the best way. We're going to have to figure those things out and trial and error. But it's innovative, and that's what. There's going to be some bumps there, but I'm really excited about incorporating that aspect of it. So there was a few things that I did back in the medical industry that are a little bit similar. We didn't have the technology capabilities that we have today, so it's going to be neat tying them together.
Love it. So needless to say, or suffice it to say, this wasn't a shot in the dark startup. It sounds like there is a lot of forethought, a lot of planning, a lot of strategy, not only in kind of the mad plant scientist area, but also in what people are seeing and their experience and I've been to the stores, and I've seen the iPads, and I have noticed there seems to be a trend towards making them look more clean and kind of sexy and inviting, like really inviting. Like your store is symbolic of a store that I would take my mom into. Like seriously, Mom, if you're watching this, when you come to San Antonio, I got a store to take you to, and you're gonna feel really comfortable in it. So
She's really gonna like our next one, because the next one we're opening is on Hebner, right next to Alamo Biscuit Company. But Hebner would
anything
be,
next to a biscuit company cannot go wrong.
Exactly. So we're at, I guess, inside 1604. Where we be? So it's Hebner, I-10 area, towards the medical center. We're gonna have a full-on coffee component, so it'll be a full-on coffee shop, juice bar, much bigger than our bitter store. So it's gonna
Very
be
cool. So you're bringing together almost like there's another innovation component there. You're almost meshing like a Jamba Juice coffee store, like a Starbucks with CBD.
Yes. So it's going to be.
Is that going to be your trend going forward? Do you think, like, if you were to look in your crystal ball?
I see it being a big thing of what we do. We're gonna. I obviously we have to see, but a big thing about that store is going to be we're going to have a huge education component because we have the space.
Right.
We'll be doing lots of educational seminars there. So I don't know. What is that? About 2,000 square feet, I think. So the stores, 3,000 square feet. We'll say 2,500. Yeah,
So,
I'll cut it in the middle. Yeah.
But again, there's a lot of forethought into this. There's a lot there's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of vision and planning, and then once we have the vision, I think there's a phrase that goes, a vision without a plan is just a mirage. So there's not only just a vision, but there's an actual plan. And then because I've seen your place, I've been on there as a consumer and also on a tour. There's without a doubt there's a strategy being executed within the Rodkey organization.
Yeah, like I said, a strategic plan, but we're properly, we have the proper infrastructure behind us. I'm a cannabis guy. I'm not a infrastructure guy, right? So when it gets to like accounting and all of these things that go along in the back of the house, I need help, right? So we have a proper infrastructure to get all of these things done. Yeah, we have a great team in the lab.
That didn't just happen overnight.
No. I mean, I've known a few of the members on our team very, very long time. So very, very dependable people. So a great team of people, great infrastructure and scalability. We're properly funded. Really, the sky's the limit. We love this industry we're in. And I mean, let's be truthful, there's going to be thousands of other products that come out in the hemp industry. CBD is not the only way to get in. There's so many ways to get into this industry. So, it's like the big thing about what I did, I guess, in the beginning of this, and I mean, going back even 4 or 5 years ago, just take action. If you have a passion and you have an idea or multiple ideas or whatever it is, take action and let's get it done.
Make it happen.
That's you have to make it happen.
Yeah.
Because it's great floating around in your head, and until you see it, then you see it actually materialize, and that's another thing.
Or you see somebody else do it.
Yeah. Or you see. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Then you see. So take heed, guys. So two of the things that really glowed is infrastructure and properly funded. Infrastructure, we talked about this in prior episodes, and if you were to go to greenseedalliance.com, you're going to see the first thing we talk about in building any business in any industry is having an infrastructure, and that is inclusive of a vision, of a plan, of the ability to execute on that, and you will not go anywhere without gas in the engine, AKA what Charlie just said, properly funded. The number one, arguably top 3 reasons, I would say number 1 reasons why a company fails is they run out of cash. And so that comes with foresight, with planning, and not just running and gunning. I know as entrepreneurs, sometimes we thrive on the whole hustle and grind concept, but hustle and grind doesn't matter if you don't have a plan or you're not properly funded or infrastructure. So important things to take note of. Maggie, did you think about the question or the thing?
Some know, but most probably don't. He hates cheese.
Charlie.
He will not eat cheese.
I eat cheese. I'll eat
Very
like
small
mozzarella.
amounts of mozzarella.
So Charlie hates cheese. Is it a gas thing or is it?
No, my dad used to punish me with Limburger cheese.
Oh,
So,
that
you know,
smelly cheese.
Well, they keep it in a jar.
Oh.
So he would make us smell it, sometimes eat it.
Holy jeez.
And yeah, so like if
Interesting
there's
fact about the mad plant scientist you just learned.
yeah, so
It works well for our marriage though, because I just take his cheese.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
a
like
good
so
point.
Parmesan cheese is really stinky. Not gonna happen. When I went to France, you know, I didn't know, but they give you
geez.
cheese for dessert. So like after you eat this awesome meal, they bring out all those like really stinky Limburger cheeses. And
And you're like,
yeah,
oh hell no.
I just pushed it over to the person sitting next to me. It was so bad. Like the
Jeez.
stinkier, the better there. So
What's next for the Rodkeys? The company, and you know your wife's here. What's next for you guys, and where are you headed?
yeah, the immediate future, you know, is our Huebner store. That's next. That's going to be a great. You know, we have one new concept and a new concept with bringing in the coffee component to it. So that's, but as far as growing the company. Obviously, getting out there and doing the education, that's a huge part for us is still educating the public. I like to get out right now, we're planning some educational series where we're actually working straight with doctors and healthcare providers. So that's very exciting to get into that arena, and because a lot of times, now the doctors are hearing their patients are telling them about CBD oil, so they're hungry for knowledge about this, and not that I have more knowledge than a doctor, but I can give them the basics on cannabis, and hey, this is what it's doing to the body, and then they can put everything else together. So yeah, and then product development, we have some really awesome products coming out. Which I will say, well now, shampoo, body wash, conditioner, face wash, which I'm really excited about. So that's going to be, on the docket.
A whole grooming line.
Yeah, and then we're working. I'm talking to people I never thought I'd talk to before. So just some awesome things on the horizon, and then growing our product line and working with new customers and growing their product lines. So yeah, I mean, just tons of stuff. I don't know where to start really. It's great. I mean, it's a great position to be in. So yeah, that's what's next. So
it is. That's a lot. Yeah. So I'm gonna encapsulate this, guys. Kind of revisit some of these things because you're listening to this for a reason. One, to not from my ruggedly handsome good looks, but because we bring on cool people like the MPS, the Mad Plant Scientist. This is Charles Rodkey Jr., Esquire, MPS. So we just gave him some initials, and that's the beauty of the industry. We can create shit as we go.
I need those letters behind my name.
MPS,
so
the Mad Plant Scientist.
Yes.
So but who knows? Maybe you're going to open up the next MPS Academy. But so some things to ideate, to consider, guys, because our audience, you guys are the startup community of the cannabis industry. Is what Charlie mentioned is. He saw, he noticed that he was keeping tabs, ear to the ground on Senate bills, Senate Bill 339 specifically in Texas. Now, whatever's going on in your state will be something different, but that's a safe place to begin. What's going on with the legislature? Then he noticed an opening in the industry. Beyond that, it was taking knowledge that one already has, and the knowledge you have, stick close to home, and that's just, you can take that to the bank. Passion for the plant, a unique marketing approach, and launched. And this wasn't an overnight thing. As you heard the story, guys, this was a well thought out effort. Infrastructure was established, was a properly funded organization, and now they have, the mad scientist where he gets to play, plus they have their second store, which is going to be, sounds like a really cool concept.
About a month away.
About a month away. Mm-hmm. So we're at the end of summer of 19, so fall of 19, we're going to see location number 2.
Yes, come in and warm up. I'm hoping that by that time it's cooled down so you can warm up with coffee. So
it'll be a perfect time. And I'm going to venture to say even that was thought out. Let's get the coffee shop open right when the cold season begins to hit South Texas. So.
Yeah, if we get any cold here, I'm hoping we get a little bit of cold.
Yeah.
So.
We even have coffee down here in our meeting. Charlie, I want to thank you for coming.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And
yeah. Where can people find you?
Obviously, the store at Bitters, 1604, 2602 Northwest 1604, or North 1604 West. We are at Suite 109. We're in the Bitters Crossing Shopping Center. We have the new store coming up at Huebner. You can go check out our stores and our products at www.rodkeys.com, RODKEYS. Also, www.structurecbd.com. And you contact us through there. And yeah, check out the products. Also, our Facebook and Instagram profiles at Rodkeys, at Structure CBD. And you can go through, see some of the testimonials. And yeah, we're really excited. Hope to see you in the stores.
For sure. Guys, that's as legit as it gets. And by all means, if you're local, check it out. Like literally go check out one of the stores. If you're online, because you guys do ship, right? You have a...
Yes, we do ship across the United States.
You can order products online, follow them on Instagram. They're a company worth following, honestly, and you're gonna hear it from me. If you're looking to do things the right way or see how it's being done, this is a company worth following. So listen, guys, we've said a lot today. We're going to wrap this up, and I really appreciate you all hopping on here. Be sure to reach out to the Rodkeys, to Structure, and you heard the call signs. We'll also put these in the show notes. If you have any questions, you want to drop some comments, things about maybe specific to the MAD plant scientist, drop them in the links below. Don't do it while you're driving. If you're driving, make a mental note and pull over and do it. But if you're watching this, you can always put the notes or the link down there. Show us some love. This is a totally free podcast show we produce, so leave us some great comments. 5 stars. Remember, I'm like the Uber of podcasting. You ever gone to an Uber? They say 5 stars. Give us 5 stars. Give us some good reviews, guys, because we're producing this for you to help you become a better cannabis entrepreneur. Remember, guys, I really appreciate your time joining us here. Charlie and Maggie right off camera, and Lisa, my wife, they're over there. They're over there watching us, making sure we don't do anything vulgar on air, which we didn't. So that's what they do. Check out their shop, online, offline, however. And remember, if you're watching this or listening to this on your earbuds, it's because you two are on a We to Know basis. Have an awesome rest of the day. Peace.